Dress the damn part, but don't look the part. And when I say look the part, follow all the way through with the attitude. The way you talk. All this cartoon image on your face. Making eye contact with people. Having some type of sincerity. Being polite. Having good manners. These things are very important. So once you got your vision of what you perceive yourself to be, then that pretty much promotes in your mind of what you should be. It's not being fake, it's not acting white. And why would people say being professional is acting white? I think it's acting more black, if anything. After all the things we've been through fire, brimstone, hangings, lynching, we've never attacked anybody physically or violently except ourselves. And we're still here. So once you got your vision and perception of who you should be, you fix your attitude. And practice makes perfect. It's not going to happen in a day. But you can't hold back. You can't use your history to enhance your future. Don't use your past to enhance your future unless you're going to plan on doing the right thing. And that's having a good attitude. That good attitude, like I said, with that magnet, whatever you project, if you project an attitude, you're going to get attitude back. And then that, ladies and gentlemen, is when you get something called your outcome. So vision, attitude, and outcome. Now your outcome is why you're feeling the way you're feeling right now. Thinking to yourself that, oh, what he's saying is stupid. It is not stupid. And this is why I made this video, because I want to share it with you today. I can get information that I usually will not be able to get because of my vision and appearance, my attitude toward others, and who help determine, not only just by myself, but with others, my own outcome, my own personal outcome. My wife told me before, she said, baby, I know you feel for everybody and you wish everybody could make it, but all the foreign countries you've been to, all the things you've done, all the people you trained and taught, all the hard hours you work, you deserve to live the way you live it. Because some of us, believe it or not, man, a lot of us, we don't know how to help. We try to help, but people are not having the vision. They're not changing their attitude, and therefore we can't help them influence their own outcome. You understand what I'm saying? If you look at that TV is where your attitude, vision, and outcome is coming from. That television, or what I should call the live vision or entertainment. That's from Dr. Phil Valentine, word for word. Live vision or your entertainment, TV and radio. Because it seeds you for at least 3 days. Once it seeds you for 3 days, next thing you know, you're portraying something that's not even you. Think about it, children don't even know what hate is until we teach them. They don't know what violence is until we show them. They don't know what raising your voice and aggression is until they learn it from adults. So everything we have is perceived to be something that we absorb or consume. You have to control what you consume. The most important thing to make it nowadays, and I'm telling you, if you really want to hang with people that can get you someplace, it's not being fake. Tell the person that, hey, that joke wasn't funny to me. I don't think it was funny. You don't mean you got to kiss people's ass. Come tell you, people who are at a higher echelon of life respect you more if you check them. Because don't nobody check them. Don't nobody check them. People scared to check them. And when they find somebody to check them, to them that means honesty. And honesty comes trust. And as you started to improve your vision, your attitude, they will help you influence your outcome. And some of us can make it on our own. But the thing that I'm telling you about people profiling you, whether it be jobs, whether it be police officers, whether it be other citizens on the planet, it's a lot to do with how you dress. It's like I was telling you that all Asians don't look alike. And there's a difference between white folks from the South and white people in Europe. But you want to know something about us as African Americans, American Africans, or blacks in the United States? Man, I see a lot of us wearing Jordans. I see a lot of us wearing a baseball cap, 23, or Cincinnati, we wear that baseball cap exactly the same. We drop and rock our pants exactly the same. We up here wearing the same type of emblems and symbolisms on our jackets and our pants. And you get mad when they say all of y'all look just alike. When that's the main thing y'all doing with your vision. You're making sure all of y'all look just alike because you don't want to be picked on. Sometimes, in order to be a tiger or a panther, you want to stand out. The only thing that looks just alike and do the exact same thing are lions and hyenas. You're riding, man. Buffalo Soldier, Southwest, Illinois, represent, I guess. Hey, she getting it. She on a classic. Just like with cyclists. Most police officers don't really look at Harley riders like that because they know they got their paperwork. They know they got their protection gear. The people they go after is what you call squids, boys on the crotch rocket. You know, that's what they go after. They looking because they know they're gonna be the ones pop wheeling. You don't see no dude no Harley unless it's at Sturgis popping a wheelie. And that's a track that's set up for everybody to be entertained and watch this person do it. But people on the crotch rocket, you're gonna see them do it. I gotta get past the lady because this thing is loud, man. Getting it in. Wow. Anyway, must be a new rider because she damn sure obeying the law. That's some good stuff. But like I was telling you about your vision, attitude, outcome, you have to control those. Control what you perceive yourself being within the next 5, 10, or 15 years. And that right there is influenced by your friends, who you're surrounded by. You surround yourself by idiots, what you think you're gonna become. You surround yourself with intellectuals, what do you think you're gonna become? You understand what I'm saying? You surround yourself with athletes, who do you think you're gonna become? Be able to change your format for the different areas you are. I can understand when you buy something from the store, it breaks, it don't work, you got attitude. But keep in mind, the person at the register didn't make that item. Sony made that item, Sanyo made that item, JBC made that item. You decided to buy it because it was on sale. Well, there was a reason why it was on sale, or it had a tag that says as is. You can't get mad at people because you made an indecision, an indecisive selection on things. So change your vision, man. Change your appearance. And make sure your appearance is comfortable for you. Your friends may be laughing at you, but you know what? You got a job, and you employed, you ain't getting arrested. Hey, you good to go. We are making more problems with ourselves, man. Just the way we dress equals about 5 to 6 shakedown searches and arrests. Don't you want to change that outcome? You gotta want to change that outcome, man. Please work on vision, maintain or secure a safe professional attitude, and you will change your financial and your educational outcome. People are willing to help people who perceive greatness, people who try, people who have fortitude, people who have good attitude, because there's not a lot of us around. So you're gonna see people giving you assistance and leaving you assistance on things you never thought you would get help from. A lot of these people out here you see making it, they didn't make it by themselves. Why do you think you can see so many millionaires and billionaires? So many millionaires and billionaires file chapter 11, chapter 13, chapter 8. They go bankrupt, got money, bankrupt, got money, bankrupt, got money. Us poor cats, we can't do that. You bankrupt one time, that credit score drops, you raise up the interest rate on when you buy a house or another car. You raise it up. There was a comedian one time that said, and he had a black and white, it was a mixed audience, and he had asked his brother. He said, you know, people in America are not big on ownership, but things in the world are changing. So this black comedian asked this brother in the front row, and he says, do you own anything, sir? He said, heck yeah, I own something. So what you own? I own a car. Man, everybody in the world laughed at this dude. And I do understand because 170-something years, African-American men have not really been able to own anything. When we made Black Wall Street in Oklahoma, they set that on fire. When we turned Manhattan into Manhattan, before it became Manhattan, Manhattan into Manhattan, which was one of the first early colonies of slaves. Look at Manhattan, or what you call Manhattan today. That got shifted away from them. Look at what happened into Khalifa, or California. That was another place where blacks, man, every time we get on our own, we do great. But we can't be making anything separated like we are. So in order for us to be online, we gotta improve our vision. We gotta wanna be somebody. You know what I'm saying? You gotta improve your vision. Start talking with decency and respect to each other. Start with yourself first, family members, and then move that attitude outside the house. Attitude. Stop being disrespectful. A lot of kids don't want to say sir or ma'am to older people until you become an older person. Then you want to change your attitude. Then you're like, these kids ain't nothing. Well, think about it. You're part of this rhythm nation right now. That the wave gets bigger and bigger, the attitudes that gets worse and worse. Change that. And then guess what? Sooner or later, before you know it, we'll change our outcome. The conversations I had with my homeboys this morning, and I'm gonna make this really quick and brief. They told, me and my other two partners, it's like, man, we understand where y'all coming from with this. Michael Brown thing, Trayvon Martin, we totally understand. Hell, even our wives understand. Maybe they do, maybe they don't, or maybe they're just being nice, who knows. But it's like, you know, a lot of times we try to research some of the things you guys are talking about just to make y'all look bad, or, you know, try to, so we can have something that, oh, y'all can't say that, you know. Imagine being in our shoes, you know. We're paying for what our great-great-grandparents did, and we had no part of it. And we're living off of it, but none of us wants to go broke to help y'all motherfuckers out. Which is true. But the biggest thing they said, he said, man, look at how many black people there are on the planet. I said, yeah. And he said, now look at how many white people there are on the planet. I said, what does that got to do with anything? He said, man, if you really look at it, bro, we're not birthing that many kids, and we're not living long at all. He said, look at you guys. You guys are around like 270, 260. Y'all can jog, sprint, run, and swim. He said, man, if we got 270, 260, we'd probably have a hard time walking. All right, agreed. And he's like, y'all actors getting killed. Michael Jackson, Whitney Houston, Tupac, you know, Left Eye Lopez, he mentioned it. And he's like, but our actors commit suicide and die from cancer. And my wife peeked me onto some information the other night, man. ALS, or what you call Lou Gehrig's disease, that's been around for over 60-something years. They got everybody doing this ice challenge. The first people to run it up were black people. Now, I don't know if this is a true statistic, but I'm going to throw it out there. If you want to correct it, you can correct it. But when you look up the people who got Lou Gehrig's disease, a lot of minorities don't get Lou Gehrig's disease. It's mainly white folks who get Lou Gehrig's disease. And what that means is that we had a lot of black people putting up a proponent for Lou Gehrig's disease by doing the ice challenge. Now, I'm going to tell you how the ice challenge works. You have to dump the ice on yourself or you pay. So you got to think, after 7 or 8 black people, it's up to either 8 grand or 80 grand. So whoever decides not to throw the ice on themselves has to pay 80 grand. Now you're noticing that it's shifting into the white folks now. And they said, well, okay, what's your point? Isn't it for a good cause? Yes, but this is how things are. Back in the day, they used to have something called steam cooking slaves. But they will always depict us as the people that were cannibals. You know, you always show in the cartoons white folks getting boiled by black people, like black people eat white people, whatever. But what they used to do, they used to put the slaves, either the women or the men, they used to put them in something called a sweatbox. Now you can be out here, no AC, you be in that sweatbox for 4 days. Because you won't be able to piss because you don't sweat all your water out. You're in there dehydrated, not being able to breathe, not to mention nobody knew what claustrophobia was back then. So these men and women were being pulled apart. Some people lost vision, went to kidney failure and liver failure. This happened all the time in that little metal sweatbox. And he's like, well, what does this got to do with the ice challenge? Well, there was a lot of ways you could break a male slave back in the day. One of those ways, you could screw his daughter and his wife in front of him because he ain't gonna do shit. He can't do shit. Or if you really nasty as a slave owner, you can screw his son. And then from there, if that didn't work, you strip him naked in front of all his children and screw him. But if he still had a will to fight, then you would beat the brakes off of him for a whole day. Get about 6 or 7 white guys and just beat him to death. Well, if that didn't work, you know, you don't want to resort to chopping off hands and feet because, you know, African Americans were the first stock traded on the stock market, so you didn't really want to lose your so-called purchase or your whatever you bought and paid for. You want to get your money's worth out of it. So what they did was when it was time that the fields didn't have anything to grow, wintertime came up, the little lakes and the ponds froze over, they had another metal box that they built. One that lifted the man's head up and his arms up out of the box and caged him. That was your ice challenge, people, because they wanted to see how long it take for that man to catch hypothermia, pneumonia, or die from exposure. That was the original ice challenge. The original ice challenge was done to all slaves in the winter. Because sometimes it was just too cold to beat people. Sometimes you just didn't feel like going on a cold. So you just take this man, stick him in this metal box with his arms straight in the air. All the blood runs from his fingers because his arms are straight in the air. So all the blood runs from his fingers down into the heart. And then you drop the heart down past 40 degrees. You know, water freezes at 30. So this man's just 10 degrees away from freezing, exposing the river butt naked inside of a cage that lays down in the water, but allows him to hyperventilate and breathe just above an icy river. That's where your first ice challenge came from. But whether they passing the buck to white people and they gonna pay 80 grand, keep in mind, not a lot of black folks are catching Lou Gehrig's disease or developing that. That's centrally something happening with white folks. And that was told to me by my white friend. So when I thought the ice challenge was because all these black kids were doing the fire challenge, I guess I was wrong. I guess that was Hollywood's way of saying that whenever these black folks get out of line, we can still check them, regardless of what age or era or future digital time period we might be. Y'all enjoy yourself. Talk to you next time.